Today, I'm bringing you the fifth and final episode in this series on money. Now, we've covered all aspects of money and financial well-being, beginning with the beliefs we hold that may be working for us, or more often than not, working against us. I've interviewed individuals who have overcome these mental obstacles and gone on to become millionaires. We've also addressed the practical steps of wealth creation, including financial blueprints and investments, and I've interviewed financial experts who shared their own struggles with money and the steps they took to build their wealth. Now it's your turn. On today's episode, I bring it all together and leave you with 10 steps you can apply today to grow your money. The episode begins now. Stay with me. Welcome to Shift or Get Off the Pot, the podcast that helps you get out of your head and into action so you can make your dreams your reality. Let's get to it. Welcome to the fifth and final episode in this series on money, and specifically growing your money. Throughout this series, we have talked about growing your wealth by understanding how you view and use money. We have talked about the mental obstacles that get in our way of becoming wealthy, or heck, even just making more money. We've talked about personal beliefs and value, self-worth. And we've talked about the practical steps of making more money and growing your wealth. In fact, the last episode was dedicated to the practical steps with author and financial coach Audrey Faust, laying out some very simple steps to take right away to start building your wealth. What I've always found interesting is that we often just want to cut to the chase. Just tell me what to do to become wealthy and I'll do it. But if there is a blueprint, and there is, why do so many people struggle with finances? Well, this is where the mental part comes into play. Because when you step out in action, you gain clarity. So you begin to follow a roadmap. And that roadmap will always reveal some cracks. Cracks that can shake the foundation your wealth, or lack of it, is built upon, which always goes back to your core beliefs. This is why I address the mental aspects of any goal, because everything starts in mind first. So today, I am bringing all of this together in the fifth episode in this series on money. I'm recapping the most important points over the past several episodes and giving you the steps to take to get yourself on track to building a strong financial portfolio. One of the common themes woven through the 3 interviews that I held in this series was that each person had a moment where they simply said, "I'm done. Enough is enough. I cannot continue this way." They made a decision. Whether or not they really knew they were making a decision, they just knew that they were done and they had to find a better way. This thinking automatically shifts the mind into search mode to seek out something better. Now, it helps, of course, if you give your mind a direction, a focal point. This is where goals take shape. So, for example, I can no longer live on $50,000 a year. I have to find a way to bring in $150,000 a year. It's a starting point. Decision is powerful. Your mind is always on, and it will magnify what you put into it. So pay attention to what you're saying. Focus on the solution, not the problem. The second common denominator in the interviews was that each had read and applied, the key here is applied, lessons from the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Now, the main premise of Rich Dad, Poor Dad is that people who are rich don't work for money. Instead, they put their money to work for them. While people who struggle have this backwards, in that they work for money and never seem to have enough. You have to give your money a job to do. One of the most common reasons why people don't learn to put their money to work for them is because they lack the knowledge of how to do so. All three of my guests in this series said that a lack of confidence in understanding finances and investments is what keeps people stuck. And fear is the main reason people don't take a chance. The fear of not paying their bills, the fear of being fired, the fear of not having enough money or of losing their money, or the fear of having to start over. Fear can definitely dig its claws into you and prevent you from trying something new, but knowledge can overcome fear if you're willing to take a risk. The way to dissolve fear is through self-awareness. Awareness of your behavior, of your spending habits, your belief in yourself and your abilities, followed by knowledge of your finances. How much do you spend on unnecessary items each month? How much are you paying in interest fees? Do you sign up for credit cards in order to get an immediate discount? You know, whenever you go to a store, they often say to you, hey, if you sign up for our credit card today, you get 25% off. And there's no interest for 90 days. That's an easy trap to fall into. There's good debt and bad debt. You have to take charge of your money rather than letting it take charge of you. Each of the women I interviewed in this series said that while they studied before investing money and they were relatively conservative, they also knew that there was a chance they could lose it. But it was a risk they were willing to take. And over time, it paid off. Author and financial coach Audrey Faust said she started investing just $50 a month into mutual funds, knowing that it was just a small amount, but it was what she could afford to lose if it didn't work out. Everyone has doubts that affect our self-confidence. And it's easy to fall into the trap of playing the what-if game. So start small. As Audrey said, the only bad investment is no investment. The other commonality in this series was that all three of my guests talked about creating a healthier relationship with money, which starts by understanding your money habits. Habits dictate our actions. Now, we've talked a lot about habits on this podcast for the simple reason that habits control our behavior. Well, each of my guests suggested that you get into the habit of paying yourself first so that you have a bit of money to invest, even if it means you have to create payment plans for other bills. Doing so just strengthens you financially and mentally. It's almost a form of reverse psychology. By making it a habit to pay yourself first, the fear of not being able to pay creditors becomes a motivator. And this fear then drives you to seek opportunities to create additional income sources. Could be through investments, maybe mutual funds, maybe in the stock market, maybe developing a side hustle. Remember, awareness helps you determine your habits. The fact is, there are opportunities everywhere. It's not just that some people get lucky, they've trained themselves. There is a great book. It's a very quick read, actually. In fact, it was a lecture first, and then it became a best-selling book. So it is a quick read. The book is called Acres of Diamonds. And it's about a farmer who sold his farm in order to travel the land searching for diamonds. only to find out that the farm he had sold had soil that was actually rich in diamonds. Now, the moral of the story, of course, is that sometimes we overlook the value of what we already have and seek riches elsewhere. A big reason for this is because we have been trained from a very young age that hard work pays off. And so that we work hard and we spend the money that we earn, and then we get into this cycle. We start to either create debt or we start to borrow more if we run short. We're always looking outside for something else to save us. The danger here is that you get into this cycle and you never take the time to develop your own financial muscle. So you have to avoid that cycle or break the cycle. And to do so, here are 10 steps that can help you create a stronger financial muscle when applied. These will help you to develop your financial genius and find your acres of diamonds. The first one is to stop what you're doing and take a break and assess what's working and maybe what's not working. Because remember, awareness is key. 2, have a deep emotional reason for doing what you do. There has to be a purpose fueling your actions. Why do you want what you want? Why is it important to grow your wealth? What will it mean for you and for your family? Connect to the emotion of it. 3, understand the power of choice and choose daily what to do, including choosing the right habits and educating yourself. 4, choose what you pay attention to and who you pay attention to. Quite often, people are more than happy to share their opinion while they're living mentally and or physically in a state of lack. So pay attention to who you're listening to. 5, make it a practice to learn about finances and investment opportunities. Because the faster you become intentional with your money and the more you seek opportunities, the more opportunities you'll have. 6, get in the habit of paying yourself first and begin paying attention to how you manage your cash flow and your time. 7, find a role model. Find a role model to follow. Pick someone that you admire and tap into the power of their genius and then put that to use for you. 8, realize that if you want something, you need to give something first. Could be time, could be money, but there's always a give and take in any relationship, and your relationship with money is no different. 9, stretch yourself to think out of the box. Think bigger. Small thinking will never open your mind to big opportunities. So allow yourself to dream big. 10, action always beats inaction, because action always creates clarity. And it allows us to see how we may be holding ourselves back and allows us to see opportunities that we may have overlooked. So there you have it. 10 steps based on this money series that when applied, and the key here is when applied, will help you grow your wealth. As always, I will list these steps down below in the show notes, along with the book each of my guests said played a pivotal role in their financial growth, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Also, I just finished reading Audrey's book, She Grows Rich, which gives you a financial blueprint. And she has a whole chapter in there about investing in mutual funds. I think you'll find it a very helpful read. All of these items will be listed down below in the show notes, and I'll be back with you again next week. Thanks so much for joining me here today. If you want some help achieving your goals, you can grab the Success Bundle linked down below or head over to my website, KimKelleyThompson.com, where I have several free resources to help you. If you like what you've heard today, please consider hitting that subscribe button and join me throughout the week for episodes that will help you make your dreams your reality. I'll be back again soon with another edition of Shift or Get Off the Pot.